Hello, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
I am fine. Thank you so
I'm
much
fine.
for this opportunity. I'm very
No
glad to
problem.
see you. It's good time that we can record interviews from almost anywhere in the world.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
from Ukraine. You are
Okay.
from South Africa. Let's enjoy this interview. You can say whatever you think. It's a good time, my friend.
Okay. I just want to apologize for late coming. I was just trying to get the link because I needed to download the app, apparently. So that's why I had to take a bit of time.
Today, on Boxing on Sundays, we are joined by one exciting boxer and coach from Africa, Stephane Audrey Tchamba. With,
Yes.
with 32 amateur fights, only 5 defeats, experience at national and continental level competitions, multiple club awards, and plans to join professional soon. Stephane has built as impressive boxing journey while also helping others develop as fighters. In this interview, we will explore his story from childhood, his amateur career, coaching experience, mindset, ambitions, and future professional boxing plans. First question: when you were a child, what was your life like before boxing entered it?
Well, for me, before boxing entered my life, it was more, um, I was involved in a lot of bullying. So I was bullying a lot. So from primary, I was a bully. And even though I joined boxing very early, I joined boxing very early. I joined boxing, I think, in grade three or grade
My friend,
four.
sorry, I can't hear you well.
Oh, I'm saying, can you hear me now?
Oh, let's do it.
Okay. For me, my childhood was very, I joined boxing very early. So I joined boxing when I was in grade three, I think. Yeah, grade three or four. And then I joined boxing because of bullying. So from there, I just fell in love with the sport and then continued with it. And then from there, I just kept developing and developing. So my life was more of a bullying at a young age, fighting, teasing others in class. And though I joined boxing, I was still doing that throughout until I had to realize that I have to come to an end and stop it and, you know, treat others equally and not do whatever I was doing because it was hurting a lot of people.
What kind of kid were you growing up?
Well, I was I was the type of child with I had strict parents, like especially my mother was very strict, so very religious as well. You know, African homes are very religious. So growing up, it was a thing of where you have to, after training, you have to go back, you have to go home early. After training, you have to make sure that you're letting your mom know that you're going for training. And the tough thing is that you have to go for training straight after school. So it was a bit of a hassle because the training days, you have to carry like 2 or 3 bags because you're going for training. So, yeah, it was a bit tough. So we had to learn discipline and responsibility at the young age. I think all boxers can relate to that, that you learn discipline and responsibility very young, especially if you start boxing at the age that I started. You learn those skills at a very, very young age. So that was the type of childhood I had. I had to be responsible and I had to, take care of myself very early.
Did you play any sports before boxing?
Well, not before, but I played sport during boxing. So I did judo, I did played soccer, but judo was just like maybe a 1 day or 2 day thing, so I never really focused on it. I played soccer while doing boxing, so I had two sports. So on a Monday it was boxing, on Tuesday soccer training. It was like that, back and forth, back and forth. And I did play soccer. I reached at I think I even joined a few teams that I played for. I know some local teams, just teams from the local from around. Yeah, but then I still stuck to boxing and I still continued with boxing throughout. Though there was other sports with me. I also played rugby as well during boxing. So I did a few tennis, cricket, yeah, athletics also, long distance. Yeah.
Who inspired you the most when you were young?
Ah, ish. Um, for me, the person that inspired me the most, I would say the people, not someone, the people that inspired me the most were the friends I had and I still have that inspired me the most because where we used to do everything together. We go to the gym together, we train together, we make choices together. But also at the point where I have also a decision for myself, so I kept pushing. So as my friend improves or my friends improve, I also improve. So it's a thing where we grow each other. We don't just grow individually and not help each other. So yeah,
Your story is very, very interesting. Your story is full of energy. How
thank
did
you.
you first discover boxing?
Well, when I don't know how you put. So what do you mean? Like how did I think of boxing when I started? Well, when I started, I thought of boxing as a weapon to bully more, you know, because yeah. But then now I realized that I think I realized it around grade seven, grade eight that I should actually use boxing for what it is for, which is going to the ring and boxing, and not use it to fight in the streets and bully other kids and take advantage of other kids. So yeah, that's how I found it. That's how I maneuvered around it. And I was like, no, boxing is a sport where I have to keep my discipline and use it for the good use of the ring and not use it to bully other people or to use it against people, to use it to be more powerful. So yeah,
You were bullied at school. It's very bad. I
yeah.
condemn it. This should not be the case. What attracted you to boxing more than others sports?
What does what?
What attracted you to boxing more than other sports?
Oh, for me, what attracted me to boxing more than other sports is that the fact that it's individual. So I don't like team sports. As much as I play soccer, rugby, I don't like team sports. Team sports has a lot of, for me, there's a lot of blaming. Either you blame the goalkeeper with soccer, you blame the defender, you blame the coach. Boxing is you. So if you don't train properly, it's your problem. You're gonna get knocked out in the ring. You're gonna be humiliated. No one is gonna be held accountable for the decisions you're gonna make. Yes, the coach can shout out combos and say jab, 1, 2, left, right, cross, things like that. But it's your choice in the ring to throw those punches. So boxing is an individual sport, and boxing is a very mental sport. As much as you're fighting, you're put in the ring where you have to, you're being attacked, and your natural instinct of being attacked is actually get away from the punch. But instead, you go into the punches. So with a slip, you slip into the punches, and that's very dangerous. So for me, I like the fact that boxing you train very hard and it's an individual sport. I like working on my own, especially with boxing. I train on my own. I don't like to blame anyone. I don't like to point fingers so that I know that if I lost it, it was me. It was not my coach. It was not my friend, not my family. It was me who lost, and we're going to fix this. Because also boxing is a sport where if a coach is not there, obviously you have to train yourself because you can't always wait on the coach. Your coach is there. Your coach, yes, but not everything you rely on your coach. As a boxer, you should learn to train yourself. Go to the gym sometimes on yourself. Have an easy run on yourself. Do the same drills you do with the coach on your own. But remember, the coach can give you those drills and then maybe it's not there. So you have to be accountable and say that, no, today I'm going to do what we did yesterday with coach and I'm going to work on that and perfect it. So that's what attracted me. I mean, made boxing very specific for me. And I love the fact that we punch each other. Yeah, I like physical, being physical, punching, things like that. Not in a bad way, but yeah,
The first step in boxing is very important. Do you remember your first day in the
yeah.
boxing gym? Tell me please about your first day.
The boxing ring.
Yes, yes, first day.
Yo, the first time I fought, then the first time I fought you, I was scared, like everyone else. The first time I fought, I was scared, and it was my first fight. It was both of our first fight, luckily. So I was scared. The preparation was exciting, but the day of the fight, you get scared. It was my first ever boxing fight, so yeah, I was very scared. Hey, there was a point where I locked myself in the toilet and they had to come and fetch me because I was very scared. And yo, I won't lie to you, you become even scared the moment you go in the ring and actually wear the headgear, and then you're like, yeah, it's really happening today. And I was like, yo. Today is the day that I have to prove myself that I really want to be in this sport. I was scared, I was shaking, I was wearing different socks. That's how scared I was. But then, yeah, I got over it and then, started fighting more and getting more fight. And yeah, the fear left.
Boxing is a very brutal sport for real men. You are a real man. What
Yes,
was
yes.
the hardest thing to learn when you started boxing?
The hardest thing for me to learn was that you will lose one day. That's the hardest thing for me. Because I started off nicely in boxing, but I started off where, I never lost. I had a streak. So I went 17 fights, I think 17 or 18 fights unbeaten. So I was 17 or 18 and 0. And the first time I lost, I never really cried. I didn't cry. I didn't drop tears, but it really hurt me because I didn't expect it. I didn't want to learn how to lose. I was so forced to learn how to lose because that's one thing, and that's the hardest thing. I think that's the hardest thing most boxers want to learn is that you can lose one day. And I realized that it's very common in boxing in all sports. So something that we have to learn, though we don't want to learn it, but it was very hard because for me, I thought that I was very dominant because I had to win. I was winning back to back every tournament, beating people until the time when I was shown that, yeah. And then after it broke me, the next fight again, I lost. And I was like, no, man, come on. I have to put myself straight and I can't lose twice in a row like this. It's not good. So that was the hardest thing I learned in boxing.
I know many families who condemn their loved ones for boxing. It's a very dangerous sport. One
Mm.
blow can solve everything. Did your family support your boxing dream for the beginning?
Yes, yes, yes. My family did support me, especially my mom. My my mom supported me a lot in my boxing, made sure that I am, you know, prepared for tournaments and things like that. Yeah, my family did support me a lot. They still do support me. Also, my uncle as well supports me. Yeah, I get a lot of support from my parents and from my family.
No boxing, no life. At what moment did you realize boxing would become a serious part of your life?
Sorry,
At what moment
can
did
you
you
repeat the question,
realize
please?
boxing would become a serious part of your life?
Uh, I think I realized boxing can become a serious part of my life when I think I realized it when I started, boxing more and going for training more and seeing how, other people evolve and watching professionals, how they have changed their life because of boxing. And I realized like, no, boxing can actually change my life because there's people out there who make a lot of money from sports and who have changed their life and the people around them lives by boxing. So I realized that no, I actually love this sport and I actually want to make a name for myself because you know we are there, we make a name for us, but I really wanted to make a name. I really want to make a name for myself in the sport.
The interview with you is very interesting, my friend. You tell
Mm.
very interesting stories. I like it. How did your amateur career begin?
Well, for me, my amateur career started very, very, very nicely until I had my first loss and then started losing, and then got back. But it was a very interesting career, amateur career, and yeah, it was a very fast one. for me, I feel like my amateur career was very fast. It's very fast, and I improved and developed very quickly as well because of the hard work I did put in and the hard work I keep putting in and the interest I don't lose in boxing. So that's what makes it interesting until this day.
What do you remember the most about your first amateur fight? Tell me please about your first fight.
Well, my first fight was scary, like I said earlier. And well, first round I went all out because the nerves and everything. And then I boxed my lungs out. I was very tired. And then when you go to the second round in the corner, I told my coach that I am tired. And then she was like, no, push, 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 push. And then second round, yeah, it was now a battle because both of us were tired. We're just throwing punches just to finish the fight. And at some point, I felt like giving up, but I kept throwing punches, moving forward. And I still have, I think my image of my first fight is still online. So I still sometimes watch it. So head movement, throwing punches. And then when we went to the third round, you are dead, 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 dead. But I kept going through. And then I finished it off. Like every time I look at that fight, I think of myself that, yeah, I've really improved because that was like very, very, very hard fight.
The first
Yes,
fight
yeah.
is the first
Yeah.
fight is as
Yeah.
exciting as the first kiss with a girl. How nerve how
Yeah.
how nerves were you before stepping into the ring for the first time?
I was very nervous. Like I said, I was very, very nervous. Like I couldn't I wasn't even laughing with anyone, I wasn't even smiling at anyone, I wasn't doing anything. I was just looking at myself, I was just thinking to myself, I was so scared. To the point where I wasn't even talking to anyone. Like I was just on my own until I felt like I was shaking, I was sweating. Everything was shaking, everything was sweaty. I was to the point where I was like, no, yo, there's this today. I was very nervous, very, very nervous.
What lessons did you learn from your early amateur fights?
Well, the lessons that I learned from my early amateur fight is that boxers, a lot of boxers, we just box. We just boxed to box and finish. We never really boxed to get points. So when you win, sometimes you don't really know that you won. You just think that you lost because we're just boxing. So what I learned is that moving forward, I should focus more on when I move forward, I should focus more on, throwing punches and, when you finish the fight, you actually know that you won because of the way you boxed. So that's what I've learned and that's how I develop. Because now when I fight, actually I realize that, no, yeah, I won this fight no matter what happens. This is my fight, you know.
You are a successful amateur. You had 32 amateur fights and only 5 losses. What do you
Mm.
think was the key to that success?
I think it was the hard work I pushed. I think it was also the loss because when I had my first loss, it was hard for me to lose again. I did lose again and again, but the opponents that I lost after my first loss, those four, they really felt that, yeah, I'm not ready to lose anymore. Because there was a time when I even dropped my opponent like twice in the ring and then I still lost the fight because I don't know what. I think I was disqualified because of something. I don't remember. But yeah, some of the losses were not losses where I was beaten, beaten, beaten. But some of the losses were losses that I had injuries. Like my second loss was because I dislocated my shoulder. My third loss is because my right hand got swollen, and then every time I punched was painful. So my coach was concerned and she stopped the fight. And then the third loss again was I think because of the hand as well. And the fourth one also same thing, hand. Because I was fighting back to back with the same hand. So they had to stop the fight because of that. So it wasn't really loss of where they beat me. There was a time where I even fought a whole 3 rounds with just using a jab, just my left hand. So it was really, really
Which amateur victory means the most to you? Tell me about this fight, the biggest fight.
well, the amateur fight that meant the most to me was the one where I boxed against Botswana. That was continental. So I boxed against another country that in South Africa. So the biggest fight for me was that one because I had to represent my club, my district, a country, and I had a short notice, so I had to prepare in a very short notice, and was it was short preparation. I wasn't that fit, but I managed to box my heart and managed to secure the victory for my team. It was a very 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 important fight, and I prepared. I took it very important. I prioritized my training, prioritized everything for that fight, and I deserved that win.
I know a lot of boxers who break down after painful defeats. They were broken and did not gather. They broke. You will never break. Never, never break. Which defeat taught you the biggest lesson?
I think it was like I said, it was my first loss that taught me the biggest lesson that you can lose in boxing. That was my fight, my loss that showed me the biggest lesson.
How did competing at national level help you develop?
How to?
How did competing at national level help you develop?
I think it helped me develop by showing me different styles because in the national level you box people with different styles. So you have to obviously adapt and watch videos on how to, tackle this. So it gets more technical than just training and punching the bag, and just, you know, at national level now you have to, do your research properly and, you know, not just punch the bag, but punch the bag with a technique, knowing that I'm going to fight this certain country, certain province, and or certain district, and then I have to box this certain way in order to win or beat them. That's the only way that helped me develop. And every time I come back to the locals and box, always, damage them. Because ever since my fourth loss and then I dislocated my shoulder and got fixed, I never lost again until today.
You performed at a very high continental level, an unforgettable experience. This is interesting for our subscribers from South Africa and around the world. What was it like representing yourself at continental competition? Tell me please about continental competitions.
Well, there's a lot of pressure because everyone is expecting to win, not only your family, your team, your country, the country, and everyone else. So it was, pressure, a lot of pressure. So I had to, focus and not get distracted, and stick to the plan, stick to what you trained for, stick to everything that we trained on in order to secure the win. So I really had to focus myself and sit myself down and say, no, I have to, focus and keep all this going through. And then, yeah.
What achievements from your amateur career makes you proudest?
Which competition?
Yeah,
I think the competitions that make me very proud are the ones that I had to represent country, the province, my district. Yeah. Those are the fights that really meant the most to me because everyone believed in me. The fact that they gave me that opportunity, which means they believed in me. So those are very, very important.
then I wanna talk about your style, technique, and training. You are very technical. Your boxing is amazing. Your boxing is nice to watch. How would you describe your boxing style?
Well, for me, my boxing style is more of aggressive. I'm more aggressive, and I mostly, focus on throwing a lot of punches and getting points than just looking to knock out. Because I don't really think a knockout is a good fight. I like to break my opponent, like make sure that he feels that I'm here, I'm present, until the third round, until the last round, I'm a be there. And I like to challenge myself and how fit I am. So I keep going. So my style is more of an aggressive style, more of head movements, hands up, going inside. I always move forward. I don't move back. If I only move back, maybe a step back, throw something, continue moving forward. So that's my style.
You are an aggressive boxer. You hit the pace. You hit hard. Your blows are so strong that they pierce your entire body. What is your greatest strength as a boxer?
My aggressive what?
Greatest strengths.
Strength.
Yeah.
Oh, my greatest strengths are that I'm aggressive. So most of the time I box, most of the boxer can't take the pressure or the pressure I give because I always move forward and always throw punches. So you can throw four, I throw six. You throw six, I throw eight. So most of the boxers don't throw that, and I hardly get tired. So that's my most my advantage for me that I would say.
There are a lot of cool punches in boxing. Serious. Hook,
No.
hook, uppercut, overhand, jab, jab. What punch uh, do you enjoy throwing the most?
I enjoy throwing the jab the most. I believe that if I throw the jab, I can catch you with anything. I just catch you, once I just touch with the jab is the target. The jab is the laser, the cross is the bullet. So if I just jab and then bullet, then it's finished. So for me, a jab, I love throwing the jab. I can throw a lot of jabs in in a fight more than any other punch. And I love using my left hand. So I can throw a combination only with the left hand to jab, hook, uppercut, things like that.
Everyone has their own crown blow. What punch has brought you the most success?
Well, the punch that I've moved, like I said, the jab. The jab has brought me a lot of more success. I've once dropped my opponent with the jab. I once dropped my opponent with the left uppercut. My left hand. Let me just say my left hand.
Your jab is amazing.
Mm, yes. Mm.
Who influenced your boxing style the most?
Well, the person who influenced my boxing style the most is Coach Lucky and Coach Koro Kodo, like my first amateur coaches, first ever. And yeah, they influenced my boxing style, and then also my friends also influenced my boxing style because every time I do this, they say, no, you must focus mostly on this, you must do this. So yeah, that was the way where I continued and kept doing that.
Which professional boxer do you study the most?
Well, I mostly studied Lomachenko from Ukraine. Yeah, that's someone I mostly study. That's someone I want to, box like. I also watch a bit of Tank, but yeah, I watch mostly Lomachenko and Bivol, and yeah,
Wow, Lomachenko. Lomachenko is my countryman. I am glad to hear that. I also like to watch Dmitry Bivol. What do
yeah.
you think about hypothetical fight between Dmitry Bivol versus David Benavides.
Oh, well, I don't know. Because, boxing is an unpredictable sport. We can say B-roll, then you get dropped, so we can say this. So it's something where we just have to wait for the fight and see who really wins. Because boxing is unpredictable. So, I don't have anything to say. Yeah.
Oh, Bivol underwent surgery on his back. Can it play a role?
Who underwent surgery?
Bivol underwent surgery on this back, operation
Mhm.
on his back.
Mhm.
Can it play a big role?
I have no idea. It depends on how the surgery, how he healed. So he can either perform very bad or he can perform very good. I don't know. It's all how he feels and how the surgery is healed. Yeah.
Vasily Lomachenko and Dmitry Bivol have a cool footwork. How
Yes.
important is footwork in your style?
In my style, footwork is everything. If you don't have legs in boxing in general, there's no boxing. You have to have your legs, you have to have everything in boxing. Hey, leg movement is everything because the more you move your legs, if you cannot move your head, but if you move your head and your legs, your head moves with it. So that's why important footwork is for me.
By the way, my friend, did you watch the fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev? Two fights. What do you think about these two fights?
Yeah, I did watch those fights. I think those fights are both fair. I think it's both fair. I really think it's both fair. And yeah, I think maybe they should have another rematch just to close off everything. Yeah.
Do you prefer fighting on the inside or at range?
Well, I prefer fighting on the inside, but I also fight on the outside, but I prefer mostly on the inside because on the inside I can, get more punches in. Yeah.
Also, you are mentally strong. How do you prepare mentally before a fight?
Well, before a fight, you have to, mentally, you have to, in your mind, you have to know that, yeah, I'm fighting. Mentally, how I prepare is I schedule myself and make sure that everything else that's going to stress me, I don't attend to those things and, sort out everything, like make sure I sort out my rent, make sure I sort out my bills, my medical aid and everything on time so that when I'm preparing for a fight, I don't have to stress, no, I didn't do this because that came in, clearing my mind before the fight. So I make sure that I sort out everything that's going to give me stress, especially the very important things that are top priority to me.
Quite often, training is more difficult than the fight itself. This happens often. Tell me please about your toughest training session. What is the toughest training session you have ever completed?
No, yeah, yeah, I've had a lot of tough training sessions, a lot. But the toughest has to be, drills, like doing drills like off gloves, no gloves, just doing like fitness. Those are very tough sessions for me. And those really tire me because I can run, I can run, I can run, I can run. I can run 40 Ks, I can run any, but those drills that we do like CrossFit, those are really tough for me. But I still push them through, still make sure that I get them right.
You train all the time. You are hardworking. What does a typical training week look like for you?
Well, for me, a typical training week is basically it's almost every day. I train Monday, I train Tuesday, I train Wednesday, maybe rest on a Friday, on a Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm always training anytime. Afternoon, nights, I'm always gonna be at the gym working, training, keeping fit. If I'm not at work, I'm training, so I always make sure that I keep myself fit and healthy and always ready for any fight, anytime.
How much time do you spend on conditioning?
For conditioning, I can spend an hour. I don't spend too much time on conditioning like that because I don't know, but I mostly spend an hour to 2 hours or an hour to half an hour on conditioning, core exercises, Yeah,
What part of training do you enjoy the most?
I enjoy running. Yeah, I enjoy running long distance. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy running.
My friend, how many kilometers do you run?
I can run any kilometers. I can run 30, 40, 5K. Yeah, I can run any kilometers. Right now, I'm preparing to run for a marathon as well. So I run almost every day. In the mornings, I always do my jogs, my runs. Even today morning, I ran. So before I go to work, I run. Before I go to the gym, I run. Going to the gym, I run. Yeah, so running is my every day.
Good distance.
Yeah,
What part
yeah,
of training do you enjoy the least?
yeah. I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy what is it? What is it called? Uh, what is it? I don't enjoy body bag. It's very tiring. Body bag is very tiring. It takes a lot of energy. So for me, it takes a lot of energy because you stay consistent, keep punching. I don't enjoy that. Yeah, but it's important.
How has your training evolved over the years?
Well, my training has to involve, and it always has involved. It's involved in way of it's more technical. It's involved in a more technical way. Yeah.
You are also a great coach. I advise everyone to sign up with you.
Mhm.
How did your journey as a boxing coach begin?
Well, as a boxing coach at the boxing gym, obviously, I started very young, grew up there, so grew up here at the gym. So obviously, people, the kids, they look up to us because they've been seeing us, and then when we grow up and finish school, and then they're like, no, since you guys are role models, instead of bringing someone else from outside, they teach us how to coach, and then we take over from the coaches that have coached us. So we just, we evolve. So as you grow, you take over the leadership space as well, and then impact the kids. That's how my journey started as a coach.
You are a great guy for helping
Thank you.
boxers grow. You take care of them. It's noble. I respect you.
Thank you.
What motivated you to help other fighters? Tell me, please, about your motivation.
So what motivated me is that I was helped as well, and I realized that why not help others? Because if I was helped without, paying anything or doing anything, then I can do that. So instead of waiting for other people to do it, I decided that I'm going to do it myself and help as well. And then, obviously people also come on the way and so want to help and ended up helping. So the thing of where it's itself, myself, I motivated myself to help.
What do you enjoy most about coaching?
I enjoy seeing them develop. I enjoy that. seeing them grow. Yeah.
How different is coaching from competing for you?
From competing. Well, coaching is different because you actually see them do what you taught them. And competing, you actually see yourself do what they taught you or what you've been training for. So in a way, it's a exchanging of knowledge. Yeah.
You are great. What
Thank you.
qualities make a great boxing coach?
I think the quality for me that makes a good person coach is communication, understanding of your people you're training as well, giving them that safe space that they can talk to you and, share the values or common values that you guys share.
What mistakes do young boxers make most often?
Mistake that most young boxers make is that they watch too much bad habits from videos and then try to do it in fights, like the pushing, the grabbing, the holding. They learn a lot of bad habits, keeping their hands down. Those are the bad habits that most boxers do. Keeping your hand down.
How do you build confidence in your athletes?
You build confidence by putting them in the ring. I believe that confidence, you see a boxer, you just take him, put him in the ring for sparring or in the fight. That's how they build confidence. And talking to them. I think most coaches just you tell them, hey, jab, cross. You must talk to the boxers, ask him that if you throw that jab like that, what's gonna happen? And then they actually think in their head that yeah, I actually may be right. Not that I'm telling you to do, but also you can also question me and say, no, coach, this is what's gonna happen. And then you say, no, yeah, but I want it like this, communicating while training, not just saying, hey, jab, hey, cross, like that.
You have many successful moments, not only as a boxer, but also as a coach. Successful moments. What is the most rewarding moment you have experienced as a coach?
Well, it's when my boys went to a tournament and all of them won, no one lost, and that felt like yeah, I'm a good, good, good.
Tell me, please, about your coaching philosophy. What is your coaching philosophy?
And well, I don't really think I have one. I really never thought of it. Sorry. Yeah, I never really thought of
What do you hope your fighters learn from you besides boxing?
it. Discipline, one. Then they must have compassion, two. Then they must have a good first impression, three. They must not sway in the ring. They must not talk back and be disrespectful. Those are the things that I want. Anyway, if you can apply those things in boxing, you can apply it in your life. No.
And in the final part of our interview, I wanted to talk about your turning professional. When did you decide that you wanted to turn professional?
Well, I decided as last year that I wanted to join professional, and I really saw that yeah, I'm ready because I have a lot of experience from the amateurs, and that's what I needed, experience. So now I've been working towards turning professional ever since. So yeah, that's the journey that I'm taking from now on, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I really can't wait.
In your opinion, why is now the right time for you to go to pro?
I think for me right now, the right time, like I said, is I have experience. I have a lot of experience. I have enough experience that I, wanted or needed. So I think now, that's why I think now is the time. Now is the right time.
What excites you most about professional boxing?
What excites me most is the trunks. I want to have my, customized trunks, have everything that I want to design my own trunks. I want to look nice when I go in the rain. Yeah, that's what excites me the most also. And, experience the fight, see myself on TV. Yeah, being a motivation to not only people around me, but people around the world as well.
What challenges do you expect as a professional fighter?
When I expect anything it brings it should come. I'm ready for any challenges, any problems, any stoppages, anything that's gonna temper with anything. I expect it, and I swear I'm gonna try my best to tackle all those challenges as much as I can, and do my best, my absolute best.
What areas of your game are improving the most right now?
My technique, my conditioning, fitness, my discipline has improved, my schedule has improved, you know, my body structure has improved. So I'm seeing differences, even the way I stand, even the way I walk, everything has improved. So I really can't wait to turn pro. I can't wait.
By the way, what weight class do you see yourself competing in as a professional?
I want to fight 60 or 57.
Wow. What type of opponents would you like to face early in your pro career?
Well, I don't really know, but anyone that comes, yeah, we're going to see forward. We're not, as long as I'm not fighting someone from my country, okay. I don't want to fight anyone from my country, but obviously, if you don't respect the factors of the same country, then it's gonna happen. But for me, I respect every fighter from my country. And us meeting is not something I want, fight or want to do.
Tell me please about your goals. What are your goals for your first year as a professional boxer?
Well, my goal is to at least get, you know, at least 4 or 5 fights, or three. Yeah, and then from there we'll see. My goals are to work hard, see the improvement, make a name already the first year because it's possible. Anything is possible.
Do you dream about winning major titles one day? WBC,
Yes,
WBA.
yes, definitely. That is the goal. Yeah,
How far do you believe you can go in professional boxing?
I believe I can go as far as maybe being three division weight champion. I think I can reach that far. You just have to, you know, make the right decisions, make the right choices, go the right path. Yeah.
Stefan, throughout uh, throughout this interview, we have talked about your childhood, your amateur achievements, your work as a coach, and your future professional ambitions. But behind every boxer, there is a person with values, beliefs, and motivations that go far beyond the ring. You are a real person. Now I would like our audience to get to know the man behind the gloves. What does boxing mean to you personally?
For me personally, boxing means everything. Boxing is the only sport I learned first and the only sport I know well. So for me, boxing means a lot. It's like after my mother is boxing. You know, that's how it is. Yeah. Yeah. Boxing means the world to me.
Many young athletes Look up to fighters who have competed at national and continental level. Your level is high, high level. Your journey proves that success comes from discipline, sacrifice, and consistency. I'm sure many future champions could learn something valuable from your experience. What advice
Yeah.
would you give to young fighters who want to follow your path?
I think to young fighters out there, just keep going to the gym. There's nothing that happens overnight. There's no fairy tale. There's no tooth fairy that's gonna come and give take teeth and leave for you coins and things like that. You put in work. You started at a young age, and you keep putting in that work. If you really want it, you keep putting in that work and not give up. Because one day, whatever thing you neglect or any small mistake you neglect is gonna cost you big time when you grow up. So you don't give up on anything. Anything. Remember, the warmer the blanket, the colder the future. So if you're gonna sleep and be warm in that blanket, there's no way you're going. You're gonna stay warm, but you must instead, if you go out in that snow, there's a lot of things that you can achieve.
Every athlete faces obstacles, difficult moments, dark times, and important decisions throughout their career. Looking back, Looking back on your career, there are always lessons that shape who we become. Sometimes those lessons become the foundation for future success. You are the future of boxing. You are the future of professional boxing. But if you could change one thing in your boxing amateur journey, what would it be?
Sometimes I used to use discipline. Sometimes I think one thing that I would change if I look back was uh, was the way I used to cut weight. Yeah, that's something I should change because I used to cut weight to the point where we starve, like we starve. You don't drink water, you don't drink nothing, you don't eat anything. I think that's one thing I really had to change. Yeah.
Stefan, boxing is a huge part of your life, but every
Mm.
athlete has interests, dreams, and experience outside the sport. Fans often enjoy learning about the person behind the fighter. I'd love to ask a few questions about your life and from boxing. When you are not training or coaching, how do you like to spend your free time?
Oh well, if I'm not training or coaching, I'm maybe uh if I'm not training or coaching, I'm at work, working or going out with the guys, you know, having a free drinks, watching soccer, maybe. Yeah,
What is the most important thing in your life outside of boxing?
family. The most important thing in my life, outside of boxing, is family. Spending time with the family, spending time with friends, spending time with my loved ones. Yeah, catching up with my loved ones. That's one of the most important things after boxing.
100%. Absolutely, you are right. Family is important in our life, and everyone has dreams that extend beyond their sporting career. Some want to build business, help communities, or create opportunities to the next generation. What are your biggest goals in the in life outside of becoming a successful professional boxer?
Well, it's what you just said, helping communities, being there for everyone, helping the community around me. And that's what I'm actually working towards and actually doing now. So for me, yeah, that's exactly what you said there.
My friend, success is important, but the impact we leave on others is often even more meaningful. How would you like to be remembered as a person, not just a boxer and coach?
I would like to be remembered as someone who is dedicated, who is, disciplined, who was always, available and there for those who are in need. Yeah, that's how I like to be remembered. I like to be remembered as a person who is just not just lied about and said that he was a good person. I want to be known as a person that was actually a good person, not just be told to people that I am a good person, things like that. I like to know the truth. I like to be told. I mean, people must know the truth on how I was.
How would you like boxing fans to remember Stephane Audrey Tchamba?
I would like them to remember me as a dedicated boxer, a very fun boxer to watch, and a very smart one as well for in boxing.
Stefan, thank you very much for taking the time to be a guest on my YouTube channel, Boxing on Sundays. It has truly been a pleasure learning more about your journey, your experiences, and your passion for boxing. From your early days discovering the sport to building an impressive amateur record of 32 fights with only 5 defeats, competing at national and continental level, earning recognition from your club, and now preparing for the next chapter as a professional fighter. Your story is one of dedication, hard work, and perseverance. We
Yeah,
also appreciate hearing about your work as a coach. Not every
yeah,
boxer is willing to
yeah,
invest their time and knowledge into
yeah.
helping others improve, but you have developing young fighters and sharing your experience shows the character of a true sportsman and leader. Thank you once again, Stephane Audrey Tchamba. It was a honor
A
to have
pleasure.
you with us. We wish you, your team, your gym, your family, and everyone supporting your nothing but success, happiness, and blessing in the future. Good luck on your professional journey, champion. And finally,
So,
what message would you like to send to your supporters, your gym, and everyone who has followed your journey so far?
I want to tell them that I will not, everyone that is been there for me, everyone that has believed in me, that still believes in me, just know that I'll never give up. I always keep, making everyone proud and always, keep making everyone proud and, showing up and improving and never letting you guys down. Always. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for staying tuned in. I love all of you guys. Yeah, take care.
I appreciate it. Goodbye, my friend, and good luck.
Bye. Thank you.